Alright, folks, welcome to a brand new series, brand new game, Pillars of Eternity. As always, I'm Falcon, your host. This game I have been waiting for and anticipating for quite some time. It is an amazing game. I'm very, very impressed with it from everything that I've seen about it so far, and even just a little bit that I didn't even play the game yet. I only messed around the character creation so I can have an idea of the character I'm going to create, so I don't spend a lot of time doing that on camera. And even just the depth of the character creation is very impressive to me for this kind of game, for this the top-down party-based real-time RPG genre. Very similar to like the old Baldur's Gate series, or to a lesser degree like the Divinity Original Sin that I've been doing with my friend John, or the Baldur's Gate, of course, that I was doing with my friend John. It's impressive how I've seen it. I love the music so far. The opening, this music on the cutscene on the intro screen here is impressive. You're not going to be able to hear it too well because I turned it way down so it's not overpowering everything in the game for the recording. But I literally sat here for like 5 or 10 minutes when I first started the game up and just listened to the music. Listen to the song here that it's playing repeat a couple times, and it's awesome. So there's a lot of options in here. Like if we go up in a game, most of these are this thing called expert mode, which turn off most of these things. These things are these helper features that expert mode disables a number of helper features. That would be most of these things that are selected here, which more or less kind of make the game easier in some ways and less restrictive in some others. I'm not going to turn this on because I haven't played this game before. And some of these things, like the tutorials, excuse me, and things like that. I have a pretty good idea of how we're going to be playing this game, because it is the old Infinity engine. It's actually the same engine that like Baldur's Gate is based on, but I'm obviously a vastly, modernized and improved version of it. Things like combat tooltips and stuff like that. It would turn most of these, I think it turns all of these really off. Some of these I would want, no matter what. Like the combat tooltips, it shows how much damage you're doing, things like that. Relative defenses, things that would help me play that, know what the hell I'm doing in the game, I would really like. Now, this one is the only one that's turned off, the show personality reputation. This is questionable, whether you want this on or off. And most of the dialogue choices and things that you make will affect your personality and your reputation in the world. And turning this on will show you what those effects, the pluses and minuses for the varying things are. But it's kind of immersion breaking to have that on, in my opinion. Maybe not with everybody, but... So, I'm going to leave that off. Even though it would be helpful, I'm going to leave that off. Don't restrict stash. You have a stash that's separate from your actual character's inventories. And that's what this is. You can use that stash anywhere, or you have to use it when you're in certain places. The stash seems kind of weird from what I've seen. In that, like, if you pick up, like, things that I would consider to be, like, crafting supplies and stuff automatically seem to go into your stash. And not being able to then access those things unless you're in a location, or maybe they would go into your inventory and you'd have to put them in your stash on your own. I'm not really sure how that all works, but it seems like it might be a strange thing to have off. It seems like it might make it a little harder to get to some of your inventory, depending on how the game chooses to make that work. Now this, basically you have a chance to die twice, essentially, before you actually are dead. The first time you die, you get maimed instead of dying. And the second time you die, you actually die. Now, you see, the first time their health reaches 0, there's actually 2 health things in this game. The health, which is your actual, like, total, like, overall, like, you lose it, you're dead. And then, I forgot the word now. Your, like, current health, which is lower, like a portion of your full health. We'll see that when we're doing the character creation. This controls, of course, auto pause. You can turn things on it'll automatically pause the game when something happens. Normally only combat start is turned on, but I did enemy spotted, stop enemy movement, and if somebody dies, it'll pause. So I can just, know what I'm doing. Graphics, everything is as high as it'll go for my computer. I am limited at 60 Hz because of my monitor. And there isn't really a whole lot in the way of options here, for the most part. But that's perfectly fine. Then sound. Obviously I turned the music way down and cut the master volume in half because the game gets very, as we've seen with a lot of my recent recordings on a lot of my recent games that I've been playing, the game volume is ridiculously high, too much of the time. Alright, so we're going to get started. I'm going to go with normal. It's normally set on easy, but this is like if you have no idea what the hell you're doing. I know what I'm doing. I think I can raise the difficulty. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. But I think I could raise the difficulty. This is somewhat forgiving. And I think I'm going to, if I can raise the difficulty later on, I'm going to raise it. I kind of do want to play on hard. As you can see, it's suited for Infinity Engine veterans, which I definitely am. I've played every Infinity Engine that has ever come out, at least to some degree. I haven't beat a lot of them, but I've played all of them. I know what I'm doing with these kind of games, but we'll see if I may or may not up to that. Path of the Damned just sounds like it's a little too crazy. Obviously, that expert mode that we talked about before, and the Trial of Iron, which is Iron Man mode. I mean, you have one save, and if you die, you're screwed. I'm not going to turn that on. We're going to start with normal, though. I hope you folks can hear the music at least a little bit, because it is very impressive. I might even turn the music up a little bit more later on. We'll see. Because I really like it.
Grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
That sounds ominous. A fallen tree that bars the way. Yeah, that's not a signal of a trap. No, not at all. Alright, so this is the character creation. Obviously, got male and female. As is my wont in all of these games, I will be playing a female character because, well, I always play a female character. Don't ask me why. Actually, I'll tell you exactly why. It's because they're pretty, and if I'm going to spend hours and hours and hours staring at something, I want to stare at something that is more attractive. Not that, these games you can really see your character too well anyway, but the details. Really not important. So, woman's role is largely dependent on where she's from. In these various places, women occupy many domestic, educational, and organization roles. They are the primary hunters, soldiers, and leaders of the tribes in Nasatik. And those places, they have more fluid social roles. In all societies, there are exceptions to the rule, and women can be found in a wide variety of stations and professions. Now these are the various regions of in the world that this game is set in. The Edir Empire, the Valian Republics. As you can see, it's a large mercantile power and former colony of a larger, more ancient nation, the Old Valia. The republics lie to the south of Direwood and Air Glenfath, and are ruled by a duke elected by the whatever the hell that is. Council of 14 dukes, including its 5 most prominent, the Dukes Bells. I apologize. I'm probably butchering these words. I really have no idea the pronunciation of these type of things. Direwood, which I think is where a good chunk of this game, at least at the beginning, is set in. It's a colonial nation founded by settlers from the Edir Empire. Following a series of conflicts with the Edir, the territory became independent. It is now ruled by a duke, who's elected by 7 earls that oversee its earldoms. So basically the United States, kind of. And Ir Glenfath. Southeast of the Bale River, populated indigenously by a group of loosely affiliated tribes. Governed by a council of its 6 most powerful tribes. Okay. So, alright, so definitely female. Now, as I said, I've spent a good deal of time looking through this. I'm going to briefly glance over the different options here for the sake of the video. Humans. There's meadow folk, ocean folk, and savannah folk. They all have the same ability. Fighting Spirit once per encounter, 5 seconds after being reduced below 50% endurance, which is your, like, momentary, short-term survivability. This is your health bar, but it is your health bar for that particular instant in time. When this runs out, you go unconscious. But it is a portion of your actual health bar. So losing your endurance does not necessarily mean you're dead. Unless your whole party gets, like, knocked out, then I think you're killed, but... But anyway, if you go below 50% health, you gain accuracy and damage temporarily. So these guys, who I swear these people look like the people from Avatar. The blue people with tails and stuff. I mean, they're tall, they're strong, and the blue. So, yeah. But we got the coastal and then the island, who are not so blue. Brown and yellow compared to blue and green. They have armed to the teeth. You gain an additional weapon set for those ones, and this one gives you a bonus against prone and stun. Dwarves. Hale and hardy for the mountain dwarves. Defense against poison and disease. Or Hunter's Instincts, gain 50% accuracy against any creature with a wilder or primordial types, which I'm assuming are probably animals and primordial. Maybe like older things like dragons or something like that, perhaps. Although I expect dragons are probably like their own thing, but nevertheless. Basically animals. So that's the dwarves. Elves. Wood elf. Accuracy, deflection, and reflex against things that are further away. So if you wanted to be like a ranger, that would be like the perfect one. And then pale elves. Elemental endurance to get resistance against burn and freeze damage. Orlan, basically halflings. Minor threat. When attacking any target that is also targeted by a teammate, Earth Orlons convert some of their hits into crits. Oh, nice. So you'd be good for a rogue. And then, Defiant Resolve, if being subjected to a will attack, you temporarily gain a bonus to all defenses. And then Godlike, which is just kind of weird and very strange, like these guys. This is a Death Godlike. When they're at 25% or less endurance, you get increased damage. And as you can see, these guys have growths on their faces that are transparent to them, but opaque from the outside. So it makes them look really weird. Fire, well, you know, fire. Your face is on fire, clearly. Below 50% endurance, you start to glow like metal in a forge, gaining damage reduction and doing fire damage to when people hit you. Moon godlike. Freaky looking. Every encounter, when reduced below 75, 50, and 25% endurance, you basically heal yourself and your allies. And then nature, if you go below 50% endurance, you gain a bonus to might and constitution and dexterity. And you just look like a sort of animal creature. I really like the look of the moon godlike and the fire godlike. It's so awesome, and I almost want to play as one of them. Oh, I also didn't notice that the pants change color based on what your race is there. That's kind of cool. I almost want to play as one of these guys just because they look so freaking awesome. But their ability seems a little potentially overpowered, and I don't really want to play. I mean, they are godlike, so to speak. So I don't really know if I want to play something like that. But I decided I'm going to go with a dwarf. Because I never play as dwarves. I always play as a human or an elf in like all of these games. Like always. Always. I never pick anything else. I'm going to go with a dwarf because that'll be very strange and unusual for me. And I kind of want to do something a little different this time. I do... I do think I'm going to go with a mountain dwarf because that seems like more like the classic dwarf. So I think that's going to be my option. Now this, I spent a lot of time in all this, and I'm not going to go through all these classes because these guys, there's a lot of options for the classes. And there's a bunch of classes that I would love to play. Monk would just be awesome because you're, you know, fists only, and you get bonuses to your damage, obviously unarmed, and you have this wound thing. When you take damage, you gain wounds, so to speak, and then you can use those wounds to make attacks like this. Use up a wound, and you get your attack speed increased. So Monk sounds awesome. Druid, I know, is awesome. I was watching somebody, I don't remember who it was now, play this a couple days ago. They had a pre-release copy of the game, and they were playing a druid. They were playing the cat, so you turn basically into a werecat or like a werewolf or a wereboar or, you know, whatever. Also looks awesome. Chanter, which is kind of a like a minstrel type character, almost like a bard type character, where you have these phrases and chants that provide a longer term or like short duration, or sometimes a little longer duration depending on what it is, constant effect. Like this one is a constant damage over 6 seconds to your enemies. You know, this one reduces their concentration, which basically makes them easier to interrupt. Reduces their damage, increases your movement speed and reflexes, things of this nature, which sounds really cool. And then you can use it, as it says here, eventually helps you build your power, and you can use invocations, which it doesn't look like you start, unless, oh, okay, which lets you do different things after you've, requires 3 phrases chanted, so if you hit the one of the phrases 3 times, then you can then fire off one of these things, which just sounds awesome. Like I do want to play a little more advanced class. I don't want to play something like a barbarian, you know, it's go up and hit them in the face. I mean, you know, it's pretty simple. You know, see, there's no real bonus, no real nothing to pick there. You know, like a fighter or even like a ranger. I always play rangers, but in this, the rangers are purely ranged. You are a bow character. You are a ranged character. I usually play rangers in most like D&D style things because I'm actually trying to do the dual wielding. which is the other thing that Rangers are really good at in like D&D style stuff. But this is not really D&D style. Totally different world, obviously fairly different rule set for things, and Rangers are just purely ranged. However, they do have something like a hunter from WoW. You do have an animal companion, which you can basically use as a tank for yourself, which sounds pretty cool. Of course, the rogue. I know I wasn't going to go through all these classes, but I kind of am. So I was really looking at Chanter, but I kind of think I might go with Cypher. Chanters are pretty cool, and you see like this is how you get health. You have your endurance, and then your health, which is 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever times your endurance is your like overall health. And you'll see like Chanter and Cypher and Druid and not so much Monk, but the other ones all have fairly low. Monk has really high, but all have fairly low endurance and health actually. You'll see they're all like ×4 for health, and their endurance is pretty low as well. But I'm thinking I might go with Cypher, because Cyphers, you directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul-focused effects. These powers cost focus, which you build through the use of your Soul Whip, which is a constant passive thing. So you focus below if your maximum focus is not at maximum, your weapons generate a field of parasitic energy that lashes out at the target, increasing your damage and generating focus. I kind of like that idea. It's almost like a vampiric class almost. And some of their abilities sound pretty cool too. Like you may have a constant beam attacking when you have 10 focus. Constant beam attack for 6 seconds. And Soul Shock, I think, was the other one I was looking at, which you target an ally. It could be yourself, I'm assuming, or somebody else in your party, and it does an AoE shock attack around that person, which just sounds pretty cool. And of course, there's other options here. I mean, this one is like a cone attack. You hit an enemy, but anybody behind them, like in a cone, will get knocked down. Ice Strike blinds and dazes your enemies. So I mean, there's some pretty cool stuff here, and I'm really torn between Chanter and the Cypher because they're both really cool sounding. Let me actually, because I was gonna go with Cypher, but I didn't really look at the movement speed and reflexes. Let me go with that one. I didn't really look at the invocations for the Chanter before. So this summons a Phantom. This gives a damage reduction. Oh no, this reduces the damage reduction of enemies. Okay. Another summon. Cool. Increases the slash and shock damage reductions for allies. It's Thunderous Explosion that stuns and shoves enemies in the area of effect. Pretty cool. 3 lightning bolts essentially. Also sounds pretty neat. And causes a nearby downed enemy to explode. Oh jeez. Expelling 3 white grubs and crushing nearby enemies. Nice. So corpse explosion, basically. That's pretty cool. Kind of like that one though. Okay, and that's the end. Alright, I think I'm gonna go with Cypher though. Chanter sounds awesome, and I hope we get one later on, but I'm gonna go with Cypher. And I want this one and Soul Shock because I just like those. Now, these are your, obviously your attributes. The stars are the ones that are recommended for your class. Like the silver star here, you know, is recommended, it's important. But then the gold star is the one that's like your main primary attribute. So we're going to jump that up to 15. We're going to try and get everything else at least at 10. I really want dexterity up as well. So let's see, we've got might, which is your damage and healing. So obviously might is pretty important for everyone. Constitution, obviously your health. Provides bonus health and endurance. Dexterity, action speed, so we definitely want some more of that. Your action speed and your reflexes. So you get to attack more often, basically. Perception, which is really important for other things. You can catch enemies, people in a lie, make observations, things of that nature. And it gives you basically defenses, essentially. And you do want this to be above 10, because 10 you see is 0 bonuses. If you go below that, then you start getting negatives, you start getting penalties. So you want this at least 10. You don't want to drop anything below 10, unless you're trying to build like some sort of really specialized, like specific character. Intellect, this is really cool because you have a lot of area effect things as a cipher, and this adds it to area effect and your duration, which I think is why this is like one of the most important things for you. And then resolve is your concentration, will, and deflection defenses, as well as your leadership and your ability to convince people. So this is also kind of like charisma. So I do want at least 11 in everything, so I can get at least some bonus. There's actually additional ways to get points in these. This is not the only way to get points, as we're about to find out. Your culture will give you a point. This basically decides where you came from. Be a Deer Empire, you get +1 resolve, which would be not bad because our resolve is fairly low. Deadfire Archipelago, which is basically the pirate island. Get dexterity, which would be awesome because, you know, being able to attack more often. Another resolve one. These both give resolve. I have a feeling these have a larger effect than just a stat bonus here. I have a feeling this will affect your knowledge of certain places, certain peoples, and your ability to interact with certain peoples and places. I think this is going to affect that kind of stuff. Don't know for sure, but I think it will. Old Valia provides for intellect, so that would be an awesome one for me to go with. Constitution would be awesome, because my constitution is not great, and my health is already not good as this class, so having this would be helpful. I also see it actually looks like it affects my starting weapons, which is interesting. Because there we get like a big... Oh, and maybe my starting armor, too. A shield and a hammer from there. Big sword, looks like. A spear. Oh lord. Can't for the life of me remember. Rapier and dagger to go with it. Axe and short sword. Bow. Interesting. And axe and short sword again for perception. So I might want to pick something that gives me a bonus to one of my weaker stats. Like might would be awesome always, but constitution. So I'm thinking, is there not one that gives perception? Oh, there is, but it's that one. I don't know if I really want that one. Because I don't know. I'm not entirely sure I like this particular background. So let's go with... kind of like this one. And Constitution would be nice, because, you know, we're not exactly a tough class. Now, this is your background. This is where you came from, what you were before, and provides different bonuses. Lore allows you to use high-level scrolls, gives you a number of different conversation things and interactions because you have a greater knowledge of the world, essentially. Dissident, obviously stealth. You can sneak around and sneak up on enemies. Survival, which is another skill check thing that you might be able to use some items, better use of food and potions, and stuff that, you know, has to do with the wilderness. Your knowledge of the wilderness is basically that. Hunter, labor, athletics is your ability to do physical feats, you know, like it says there at the bottom of that, climbing, swimming, jumping, so on and so forth. And mechanics is your ability to do things like open locks and work on machines and such things as that. I think I'm going to go with mercenary. Because this kind of fits my character the most. I'm supposed to be a... will this tell me the... No, it won't. I'm supposed to be a class that goes around and seeks out evil, kind of. I kind of take these guys to be almost like inquisitors, sort of. It's kind of how my interpretation of the class description was. Then mercenary is kind of the most fitting for that, and having some athletics and lore would be nice as well. And it looks like those are the main things. So I think I'm gonna go with that one. Now you can change your appearance. Now there is not too hell of a lot of options for appearance, unfortunately, but there's some. So I think I want to go with green and black. Primary green, secondary black, or vice versa. Perhaps vice versa. Black and green. Yeah, I might do that. Kind of like the red, actually. White. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with red because it just looks pretty cool. Sticks out a lot. So we have tattoos. Kind of normal, or that one. I'm gonna go with that one, I think. Now hair. I'm gonna start at 1, bald, and we'll go from there. This is the single biggest thing. We have very dwarfish. Oh man, that's impressive. Hardcore dreadlocks. It's a weird looking one. At least the mountain dwarves here have some very dreadlock looking hair and a lot of things. So I usually go with ponytails and stuff, but this doesn't really fit in dwarven characters quite as much. That looks like a Final Fantasy character almost, with the hair sticking up in front. Kind of liked some of those ones near the front there. That's not bad. I don't like that hair at all. That's even worse. Kind of like this one, actually. This is kind of, very dwarvish to me. That's just kind of crazy looking. I do kind of like this one too, because it's got like the one braid on the side, but maybe I'll go with that one. Now, none of these portraits are likely to look a damn thing like my character. First and foremost, they're not, most of them are not dwarves. You can see a lot of these are very much the different races, and then like the different classes basically that you can play as. Okay, oh, there's male and female both separated. I see, it shows you both of them. And then we've got into guys. Alright, so we don't want a guy picture, obviously. Oh, I don't know. Not a huge fan of most of these pictures, really. Like, the most awesome ones are like these ones for the godlike characters, but we are clearly not a godlike character, so man, maybe I'll just go with this one because the rest of these I'm not a huge fan of the rest of these.
Yes. I shall lead us to whispers and shadows. Eh? I've got this. Let's go. Quickly and quietly. Leading the way. Attack!
So
The better part of valor. I'm here. Follow me. Keeping quiet. Yes. Now I am leader of the group.
oh,
Keeping an eye out. I shall lead us. Sharp eyes and keen ears. Eh? I've got this. Sharp eyes and keen ears.
I think I might go with Mystic because I kind of like that one the most of them all. Or we could
Yeah?
be really weird
Leading the
and
way.
go with a
Whispers and shadows.
male
Well-
voice.
I shall lead us.
But no, I think we're gonna go with Mystic. Alright, now. After some debate, I'm going to go with this name. I don't know if we've really seen me name my characters too much, but I'm a little bit of an aspiring writer, and I created I'm writing a book, and I have a bunch of character names that I used from the characters in my book. This is one of them. So I think I'm gonna go with this one because this one kind of sounds dwarvish to me a little bit. So I think we're gonna go with that. Oh, and it does indeed start me with the weapons that it showed me on the character creation screen. So the character Grandmaster finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods toward a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who would be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last he turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day.
So, gonorrhea?
There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
That was him looking at his assistants, a lanky, intense man named Sparfil, who carries an old, sun-bleached bow. I'm assuming... maybe this dude? I don't know. He nods and slides the worn bow over his shoulder. So where would I find these berries? What are these ruins? Is it dangerous out there? What are those huge rocks coming out of the ground? These pillar things. So where would I find these
Go on a bush
things?
that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
Alrighty then. What are
Nothing
these
you won't
ruins?
see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear.
Now the effigy is a reference to one of the gods. If you went through the cleric, mostly the cleric really, like gods that you can play as, this was mentioned as how one of the gods, one of the more like evil, nasty gods, shows himself to those who try to summon him or, you know, ask his guidance.
Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
So you'll see basically everything about you will open up options for you in dialogue. These options will not necessarily be superior to others, but you give you a wider variety of choices. Who did
Got
build the
different names
ruins?
for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much. Not if you hurry about your business, and not if the weather holds up.
There's concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate. What
This
kind of
time
weather?
of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a Beowick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to.
Indeed. So what are these
They
giant
don't
rocks?
got Audra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul
Interesting.
butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that. Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on the uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
She looks up on her own time. Needs to find some spring berries. Watch it, she doesn't drop dead.
Promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beowick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
You heard the man. Let's get going. before you fall over.
Foreshadowing.
Silence surrounds me.
Oh god. Okay. Alt triggers stealth. And then you can hit tab and it'll show you everything around you, including things that you can open. Now, I had mechanics. I don't actually know where I got mechanics from, but I apparently had it. So we got a potion. Healing potion. Armor, which I think might be
Certainly.
better or maybe worse than what I'm wearing. I don't really know. The tall glass green pillars appear as if they've sprouted from the ground. Looking fire sets shadows dancing within. Moving toward a character accelerates how quickly they will detect you. If you actually touch the selection circle of a character with your own, you will be detected immediately.
Shadows.
But this is if you're sneaking. So another potion and some money.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
So different people will do different things, basically. He has a shop. Come on, open the shop. Frank can tear on the seam of his
whole
tunic.
wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road. Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic
So let's see what you got. I know I have equipment already, so the stuff that he has here is not really anything that I necessarily need to do anything with. These are the pre-order things here. Yeah, so let's see. I don't have a whole lot of money either, so I probably can't buy. Well, realistically, probably can't buy much of anything. There's all these different options, though. All the different stuff that you can start with, really. These are all basically starting equipment. That great sword, the hunting bow, pike, battle axe, and daggers. I think I have a battle axe and a Actually, it's probably a dagger, really. Maybe not, but I'm pretty sure that's probably what it is. The only thing I'd maybe want to buy would be armor, but I don't have the money for that. At least not right this instant. Let's see, what am I... Got mail armor with a damage resistance of 9, as you can see. So yes, considerably better than what I've got. There. Battle axe, yep, and a dagger. That's what I thought. And you have a torch and a battle axe and scale armor, so also better than what you have. Alright, so this grants Gon's Pledge. Aspect of the god Eothos. Represents the harvest. I don't know what that does. And I don't know what this does. Tiny Titanic Pig. What? Is this the pet? Yeah. So I have a pet, and I have whatever this ring does, which I still don't know. Doesn't tell me. Don't you know what you do? What do you do? You won't say. So we have rings, all the different equipment, basically, quick items. I should probably put these on my quick item bar. I can sell this. Crafting. Potions, scrolls, food. Nice. Some of my stats. You'll note, yeah, see I have 131 health and then 33 endurance. Whereas she has 236 health because she's a fighter class. So she is much more of a fighter character. And then we've got all the different stats, of which there's 11 freaking million, and I'm not even going to bother to look through all that right this second. Quests. Actually, let me look at the stats here for 1 second, though, because I want to see if it tells me... What is this? Restores a moderate amount of endurance to the wearer each time it is used. You get 2 per rest. Okay, so it's a healing item. Cool. Alright, so we've got my abilities. So let's see if I have focus. And what does she have? She can knock people down because she's a fighter. Alright. Now, yeah, you can see time and party, all the different stats and things about your characters. Stronghold, that sounds cool. The map. And of course the world map. No idea where we're supposed to be. Alright, nifty. Oh, there's my pig. Following me around with his glowing face. Who are you? Oh, that's the
I'll have
hunter.
your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
One would hope not. One would generally hope not. Alright, now see, this adds to the stash, and this is what I talked about earlier. In that you have multiple... inventory... Yeah, there's the stash. You have multiple pages of your stash, first and foremost. And you can access it anywhere with the setting that I have, but you can turn that off, and I don't know what really happens if you turn it off. I don't know how it works.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Oh, hi. Hi there, Wolfie.
What you need?
I can select individual characters, right? Yes, okay.
Yes.
What you
Now,
need?
is this per encounter? Okay. Yes, so knock him down. And... I know there's a way also to set... Somehow you can set... I'll figure that out later. Probably after this episode, but there's a way to set... things like the spells here to a keyboard quick key, which will make things a little bit easier for me in the grand scheme of things. Use possible real-time combat, blah blah blah. Yeah, thanks. I'm aware. Okay, all characters in the game have 4 primary defenses: deflection, fortitude, reflex, and will. It's based on your stats. Accuracy is compared to the appropriate defenses when an attack is made. If it is below the defense, the attack suffers a penalty and is more likely to result in a miss. If it's above, it is more likely to result in a crit. You also have damage reduction, which is a straight damage reduction. So, like, my armor is like damage reduction 9. So if a attack against me would do 10 damage, it'll only do 1 damage instead of the 10 that it would have done. And you can also see up in the corner there the different stats about this wolf. It has 27 deflection, I think that is. Resistance. So, like, I did 13 damage there, which means... Oh no, that's the accuracy. It's like damage reduction is 4, so I did 13 damage, which means I actually did 17 damage with that attack. Oh.
Indeed.
Okay, how do we loot? When you take damage, they'll start to lose their endurance and health. Their portrait will begin to fill with a red overlay, and the health bar to the left will slowly start to decrease. Portrait fills entirely, they'll be knocked out. And if the health bar that decreases, then they'll die. How do I loot? Okay, there we go. We'll find it.
This is it.
Springberry! Oh god, what just happened? It looks like we've seen your share of action. What did you do before you came here? Now this is important because this decides for the future. This decides what kind of character you are. So I was a war veteran. Used to be a soldier. Yeah, how's it happen you come here? Fought for the wrong side, didn't need a reminder. Fought beside people far better than me, but somehow I'm the only one who made it out. I can't reconcile that. All I know is war. Maybe this is my way out, but maybe this is just the way to the next one. All I know is war. I'm a long-time warrior. Got a lot on your mind then. Hopefully things work out in the end, but in my experience, they don't always. Breathes in her surroundings. It's been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Raedric's offer makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You here to settle like the rest of the lot? I hadn't given it much thought. No harm in that. Might as well see the place first. So he must have come out there. Had some other plan in mind for coming this way. Hope to fall in love. Always same things I did before. Just looking for some adventure, getting into trouble, find some new friends. I have no idea what I'm going to do next. Getting into trouble. Ah, come to the right country. This whole place is crawling with troublemakers. It's a point of pride for him. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Well, Demo, give me an earful. Let's be on our way. So why are you here? Tell me about yourself. Tell me about the Direwood. Why are you here? My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried, but that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out, and that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing good work in Ixham Middle. But I'd do anything for her. She's much better the woman than me, so I'm here and we'll see. Odimo I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive her out this way, but he's doing it for me. Simple needs like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. Family wanders. Started in Direwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Ratau and another in the Deer. My sister is in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. Tell me about Direwood. Not much for history, but from what I know, used to be part of the Deer Empire. Broke up after a war. Sometimes some years back, locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. I'll have to ask my sister more about it. You know, I didn't feel like holding my breath that Sparfle's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like when he feels like. We should check up on him first, slap him around a little. Oh,
What you need?
how do we... There we go.
Certainly.
Hold control and you can cook. Oh, Piglet. Alright, there's more stuff. Burned lady, whatever the hell that is. Alright, just exploring, looking around. We will go back to camp before we go down here, because I want to see if maybe I can buy, well, anything, really. Deer. Deer! Oh, you ran away, deer. Corpse is cold and smells, basically. See, leather armor medium and lockpicks. What is she wearing? 7. Okay, so right. Oops. I don't know why. I guess playing like Diablo. I keep hitting Alt to try and do what Tab does. You know, the show things around you thing. But it is not Alt that does that, it is Tab.
Something else you need?
So let me see what you got. I don't want that. Don't particularly want that. Don't particularly want that. That'll give me enough that I can buy some different armor if I so choose. I don't know that I'm going to. So we could buy a shield. Give it to her, perhaps. Or we could try and buy better armor. Now, that's heavy armor. Damage resistance at 10. The armor I'm using is medium. With 9, so I think that's probably going to be the best we're going to get. This sure looks like that, because that's only 1 more. Actually, yeah, maybe besides the shield, perhaps, because I might give the shield to... See, that has a reduction to accuracy, though. This does not. Doesn't provide as much deflection, but let's get that. I think I'd rather have that. And we might give her that, so she can, yeah. Might give her that, so she can be able to block things. Yep, I think I'm gonna do that. Now, do you need arrows in this? The fact that you can't buy arrows tells me probably not. 15 to 22. So less deflection. Range of 12. So why would you go with a hunting bow? When the war bow is the same exact price, but considerably better. I'm gonna get a bow just because I want to have some sort of range capability if I choose to have it. Oh, that's not what I want. Oh, cannot double click. Double clicking does not do anything for you. Okay, and you, I just want to do that. So if we switch to this, oh damn it, it does not do what I wanted it to do. What I wanted it to do. Well, crap. Oh well. I wanted her to be able to, oh, I should have read that, because I didn't actually pay attention to what the button for switching weapon sets was. I'll look it up later. By selecting the weapon icon from your action bar. Oh, okay. There has to be a button for this, like a keyboard shortcut, but I don't know what it is, so...
Certainly.
Whatever. There also should be a way... Oh yeah, okay, that must be that is. Yep.
Come on.
So you crouch at the riverbank, fill up the water skin, You notice Kalisha look toward the tree line. Out of the trees emerges Sparfle, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. It's really loud. He no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness to his gait, a spastic wobble in his ordinarily deft stride as he moves toward you.
Sparfle, are you all right?
His toe catches on a rock and he falls, with an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. Joy. He dead.
Ambush!
No, really. Alright, does no, it doesn't. Wanted to see if WASD moves the screen around, but it does not.
Oh?
It does not. Okay, so we're gonna nail you with this. Start out with
What
that.
you need?
I want you to knock this dude down.
Oh?
And unfreeze. Why did it pause again? Oh, enemy spotted, then combat start. You dead. Is this actually doing damage?
What you need?
Down here and attack you. Many spells and abilities have a limited number of uses. Ability that can be used a number of times per encounter will have all of its uses restored, and buried rest will do the other thing. Let's raise this up just a bit so we can see better. So, let's see. No, that was the wolf. I don't see where the ability did anything. Yeah, I don't see where the ability did anything. Try this one.
Yes.
Oh, it has to be a different character. It cannot be the main character. Oh, that changes that a bit. All right, let's try this then.
Got to try something else.
Sometimes a weapon simply isn't suited to getting through their damage resistance. Okay. So grazed. 10 slash. Oh. So, see, he's got the different defenses there. That was pretty nifty looking, though. I really wish you would just auto-attack. I don't know why you're not auto-attacking. It's annoying to me.
Come on, we have to get back to
Indeed.
camp.
Alright, I want to... Ooh, well, I almost feel like I hadn't bought that bow now, but oh well, that's alright. Not that big a deal. Money. Joy. What we got over here? A beer bottle. Yay. I don't know why I
What you
have
need?
the...
I shall.
Okay, what do we got down here? Fire cap. Footprints have been into strength. They may have been here for a while, so that camp has not been used anytime recently. Okay, now there is a way to speed up the game too. So you could use this to be able to get around faster, essentially. Lets you travel great distances, which is awesome to see, because Baldur's Gate, there were some times when you were traveling around some hella large areas, and it just took forever to get anywhere.
Oh.
And I like that they kind of fixed that a little bit. Now, what does this do? Anyone caught in the path between the two? Oh! Okay. Okay, so this doesn't actually do anything to the person you targeted against. Alright. That's interesting. So this does nothing to the person that you targeted against. It is solely based on... Okay, so actually doing it against the ranged character is a good idea. But then you have to, yeah, see, like that. That's doing... Oh my lord, that's hurting her a lot. Get in there and... Oh, is it? Oh. Oops. Sorry. Okay, so it does hurt. I'm pretty sure I just killed my own friend. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just killed my own friend, because I'm pretty sure that that just did damage. That the damage from the antipathy field thing just killed Calliska. Sorry, Calliska. I didn't mean to kill you. I'm fatigued. Please kill that person, thank you. Build up in your character over time. And basically have to rest, essentially. And it affects your person. Now, you see, she revived, back to full endurance, but you see her health has been greatly reduced. It's been cut by the total. You will also note that picking these things up, it was all of the stuff that both of those guys were carrying, not just the one. So it gives you, makes it a little easier to loot things.
I shall.
And there was actually an option for that in the one screen earlier. Alright, let's see. 9 to 13, 9 to 13. Just deflection. Okay, so those are not really that anything super interesting to write home about. I will give one of these over to her, though, because then she can have a weapon for her shield. 10 to 15 or 13 to 19. So it doesn't do anywhere near the damage, but if she needs to tank, it's a better option. Okay, so Antipathy Field is really powerful, but obviously dangerous to my own people if I do it wrong. Save the game real quick. And I'm going to try and complete this thing, and we're going to end the game. End this episode. This episode is going to be a little bit longer, but most of this was the character creation. So, all around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrow and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy on the blood-damp earth. See, it looks like it's Calliska. That's not how you spell it. It's Kalisha, I think. Puts the back of her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away the horror like a poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stands above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs as they prepare to add you to the sprawling pile beneath them. One of them, towering and severe, with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Hirodon, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. Why have you done this? So that say now I have a lore thing that I can do here. Ruin has not been sullied by our hands. We have not trespassed. I don't know what you did, but I didn't have anything to do with it. Murderers, and you will try to kill us either way while I make it easy. Let's try the lore option. The words carry. Now, see, that also gave me a disposition, so this gave me a reputation. I don't know what that reputation is because we don't have it turned on. This is really important for faith. For priests and paladins characters, because they're what either they're god in the case of priests, or your like knight organization or whatever for paladins, have certain favored dispositions, like things that you're supposed to focus on and you're not supposed to play do the other ones. that will affect your capabilities as those classes. For that reason, those classes are really cool, because at the same time they kind of enforce and also add extra dynamics to a certain type of play style. And even to opposing that type of play style at the same time, because it does different things if you don't do what you're, technically quote-unquote supposed to do. It was going to wait when I've seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them, they mean to kill us all. That's, what's his face? We're innocent in this. Only a fool attacks a weak enemy. Perception, which I don't have. Intellect. You can kill him, but you might as well be killing yourself. Resolve. 15. Athletics. Or an even better intellect. Judging by the strain of animal teeth around your neck, I'm guessing you are worshippers of Galawain. If he told you to stop protecting the ruins, would you? Put down your weapons, or if I put down weapons, we're all dead. The man frowns his motions as if to swing his axe. Hirdan winces, but the blow never comes. Instead, the man cocks his head, intrigued. Of course, but he would not. It is by the command of all the gods that we accept this charge. How do you know? Because it's consistent with their beliefs, or because it's what you were told? It has always been known to my people. I see. What of Galawain's edict that weakness and age must be purged by youth and strength? Do you think Galawain would want some moldy, crumbling stones to survive? He would not. He told us otherwise. I'm sure he did. Just not you personally. But why should that stop you from killing innocents? Distracted, the man's grip falters on his axe handle, and he nearly fumbles it, affording Hirdan the moment he needs to dodge out of a swing, which comes too late. Howling with rage, he charges you. So we now have gained Hirdan as part of our party. He's a little bit hurt, but he's now on our side. And I am going to, because Hirdan is right in front of these dudes, I'm going to hit him with this, because that'll hurt everyone around him. I want you to knock down the hunter there. Actually, what kind of weapon is he using? Can't tell. Pause for a second. Oh, he does have a melee weapon. Okay. So yeah, go knock down him. We'll have you do that, because that's going to hurt all of them when it goes off. Bam! And now get in there and wail on these dudes.
Not quite.
And you dead. You dead. You know you dead. The enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not to you, but at the sky above. Forgive us. His barely audible beneath his choked sighs, a whisper of wind begins to stir the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good, good. The gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile. Upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin like a jetty beginning to succumb to the surge of a great wave, and where it pierces you, it feels as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against a wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across chest and bow, Odima's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Inside! Run!
Okay. I'm down for running. My pig's just chilling in there in the middle of the place, hanging out. Yeah, this looks kind of scary. Alright, so straining against the gale that threatens to pull you off of your feet with every step. You set your hands in the worn folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. With the last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Hirdan trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rock, one of the fallen attackers who had been feigning death lunges for him and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Hirdan lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you. Despite the wind, from your position, if you were to throw your weapon, you have a good chance of hitting him. So I could throw my weapon and lose my weapon, allow him to break free on his own, which may not. He might die. And I don't have the dexterity to do that one. I kind of want the party member, though. I don't want him to die, so I'm going to throw my weapon. I'll sacrifice it. Lurching to his feet, Hadrian clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out into the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength, and it feels as though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Hadrian to get to his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There's a deep resonance to the swelling of wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet, and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. And we get buried and trapped within. This is going to be the end of the episode, folks, as soon as it finishes loading, and we deal with anything that might happen here at the very beginning.
Was that?
What's that?
Buick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
Indeed.
And we're the only ones.
Yeah.
There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside.
Yep. Alright, folks, so thank you for watching.
Yes.
I am now short a weapon. Most unfortunate. Let's see what he's got. Daggers. Lots and lots of daggers. Well, I do luckily have this hatchet. Put that there. It's a pale replacement for the one that I lost. But for now, it will serve its purpose. We'll give you that. What's this do? Damage reduction. Whatever. Alright, folks. As I said, thank you for watching. Have a good day. I'm going to go ahead and save the game here again, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.